teachers and tutors. Today I'm going to teach you the themes of Othello. Othello by Shakespeare. Okay, now let's look at the first theme, which is good versus evil. In the good versus evil, we have the angelic Desdemona versus the diabolical Iago. Alright, and there's the conflicted Othello. Okay, why is Othello conflicted? Because in front of the Venetian society is this general, is this more with very elevated status, but in the domestic front he is the social outsider. He has married a white woman despite his inferior status as a black man. So he feels very ill at ease with himself, and he has an inferiority complex because of his skin color. Alright, and then the Machiavellian Iago, who is Janus-like, he has a two-facedness. He doesn't show his villainy in front of his other characters on stage. It is only towards the end of the play that they actually discover Iago's villainy. And then there's Iago is also lacking in concrete reason or motivation for his pure evil. So he's basically not. He has absolutely no concrete reason for doing all the diabolical wickedness that he has done onto Othello and Desdemona. But that is what makes him one of the more interesting characters, interesting villains of Shakespeare's time, because the fact that he has no compelling reason. For instance, some scholars have suggested that he might be jealous of Iago because Iago has passed over, Othello has passed over Iago for promotion and promoted Cassio. On the other hand, some other scholars have suggested that Othello has slept with Emilia behind Iago's back. So there are many possible considerations to this, and it is really, the possibilities are limitless as to why Iago does all this. And then we have to consider the ending. So how is the ending? Does evil triumph over good? Obviously it does in this play, and it is very pitiful. And then you have to consider whether Othello is good or evil. He says, consider one that when you speak of me, speak of one that loved too well and not too wisely. So we have to consider whether he's actually a good figure who is victimized by Iago's villainy, or do we consider Othello to be a bad character because of his inherent blackness and the fact that he killed Desdemona, the innocent and white Desdemona, in the end. Now let's look at other themes. Let's consider love. So, love is blind. Obviously, the white Desdemona has chosen the black Othello as her husband. And in front of the Venetian society, in front of the Senate, she actually speaks highly of her love, of her trust, of her conviction, of her fidelity to Othello, despite his inferior status in the Venetian society. And Desdemona's sacrifice of her family, of her parental family such as Brabantio, and her racial background, which is white, and she's married the social outsider who is the black Othello. And Othello is loved despite his skin color by the white Desdemona. He says, she had eyes but chose me, and this is why he loves her in Britain. Alright, and then let's look at the next theme, which is that of jealousy versus trust. So obviously Othello says, oh, beware the green-eyed monster that doth mock the meat it feeds on. So what he's basically saying is, beware of jealousy. Once you're in this jealous fit that judgment cannot cure, Othello is not able to see how consumed he is by the jealousy that he has on Desdemona's fidelity for him. And Othello becomes very possessive and obsessive about Desdemona's perceived infidelity and unfaithfulness, as he says, oh, these sweet creatures that we can call ours but not their appetites. And then Iago is basically jealous of Cassio's promotion to the lieutenant. That's another form of jealousy in the play. And coming back to Othello's jealousy of Cassio, we see how he feels that his own status as a social outsider has caused him to lose the fair and white and beautiful Desdemona. So the fact that he's comparing his skin color with Cassio's and feeling a sense of inadequacy tells us that he's plagued by feelings of inferiority. So Othello says that he would rather be a toad than share Desdemona with other men. Alright? And let's look at the theme of appearance versus reality. When we look at this theme, we have to discuss Iago's deception and outward appearance versus his inner reality from his first speech. The very first speech where he says, "I'm not what I am," that quote is very telling because he's clearly telling the audience that he cannot be trusted, that he's someone who puts on false pretenses, and that he is always in double seeming. But we suspend disbelief and we continue on with the play because we do not take his words very seriously. He says, "I would be a fool if I were to wear my heart upon my sleeve for doors to peck at." I think we need to take him really seriously and consider the inner motivations and double meaning of his words, but we do not. And unfortunately, this leads to the tragic ending of the play. And then we need to consider Iago, who constantly refers to himself as the fair and honest Iago. And we need to analyze Iago's skill as a masterful manipulator who's able to be very Machiavellian and orchestrate this whole play of revenge and destruction. Okay, now let's look at the theme of gender roles. When we look at the theme of gender roles, we need to consider how women are inferior to men. If you look at Desdemona, she's obviously not that able to voice out her innermost sentiments in front of the Senate, and it is actually quite admirable for a woman of her time, of the Elizabethan era, to be able to confess to her love for a social outsider such as Othello, the Black Othello, in front of the Venetian society. And the fact that she actually steals out of her family, her parental family, out of Brabantio and goes against Brabantio. She says, I am divided in my loyalty between Brabantio and Othello. The fact that she says all this in front of everyone is actually quite commendable. It's actually very admirable because a woman of her era, of her time, would not be able to voice out her sentiments as independently as Desdemona has put it. And we'd also have to consider the fact that the other female character, who is Emilia, she's also occupying an inferior status, she's a social inferior to Desdemona, and she expresses views that actually sexualize love. She says that, oh, it's just an appetite for men. Love is just an appetite, sexual appetite for men who eat us and then belch us after they are done with us. So her view of love is very sexualized, and she's also not really held in great esteem by her husband, who is Iago. She's actually thought of as just a mere sex object, as we see the interactions between the husband and wife in several instances of the play. If you look further down, there's the other female character in the play, who's Bianca. Bianca occupies the lowest rung of the social hierarchy in the play, because not only is she a woman, she's a woman of color and she's a prostitute. So it makes us really realize that she's a woman who is plagued by multiple marginality, not only in terms of race, but also in terms of gender and in terms of social class, and even in terms of the prestige of the occupation that she occupies. And let's consider, having considered all these different themes of Othello, let's now move on to consider the motifs. Thank you.